chief London correspondent a year later. He brought the horrors of the Vietnam War into American living rooms for the first time.
And we want to bring the wars to Vietnam in an end, in a way that will promote not a temporary but a lasting.
He worked for McNamara, and he had opinions on the decision-making that went into Vietnam.
And in Vietnam, there are no happy fucking stories.
I told him I wanted the infantry, combat in Vietnam.
And at the Paris Peace Accords in 1973, after the Vietnam War, she found Trask.
And Grandpa telling his disgusting Vietnam stories.
After Vietnam.
To avoid Vietnam has followed him since he ran for governor of Texas, and Mr. Bush has always denied it. I enjoyed it.
Barnes says that when he was the Speaker of the Texas House in '68 during Vietnam.
You were big in Vietnam. I saw the highlights.
As everyone knows, the existence of mutants was first discovered during the Paris Peace Accords after the Vietnam War in 1973.
Besides, did you know that the majority of Americans believe that the Vietnam War was just a terrible idea?
Because people just got over Watergate and Vietnam, all right? And you're gonna shit all over politicians again?
Besides, you'd end up in Vietnam.
Because my mom and dad from Vietnam is coming, and the house can't be for
Bill Cooper. He flew opium all around Southeast Asia during Vietnam.
Bloodiest month of the Vietnam War.
Bobby just found out his brother got killed in Vietnam.
By the end of Vietnam, that ratio was back up to 12-1.
Didn't you want to go to Vietnam?
Did you serve in Vietnam?
But you're the only American in Vietnam.
Bush says he got in so quickly because they were specifically looking for pilots, which is bullshit with all the pilots rotating back in from Vietnam.
But what if he died in Vietnam, or...
Cooking for all you nice people has really helped me get over the fact that I fought in the Vietnam War.
Servicemen, dead servicemen. Depending on how people.
No, I was in Vietnam.
Kennedy also finds himself embroiled in Laos and Vietnam.
I've seen it with Vietnam vets.
I would never have given you this information unless we'd worked together in Vietnam.
Let me say to those who invoke the memory of Vietnam.
Look at Vietnam.
It is the stateside province of Vietnam, and it is as close to the war as we can make it.
Its most direct and tragic result was the reversal of President Kennedy's commitment to withdraw from Vietnam.
It was like Vietnam or something.
I was piloting Black Ops missions in the jungles of North Vietnam where you were sucking on your mama's tit at Woodstock, Kelly.
It's a Vietnam thing. We fought on your side.
I spent much of September '63 working on the Kennedy plan for getting all U.S. personnel out of Vietnam by the end of 1965.
I was in the same kind of funk you're in when I first got back from Vietnam.
Bill Lyndon Johnson got $1 billion for his Texas friends Brown and Root to dredge Cam Ranh Bay for the military in Vietnam.
John Kerry has not been honest about what happened in Vietnam.
Is this the one who died before you went to Vietnam?
I've done 2 tours in Vietnam.
The shit, I was in the Vietnam War.
Gentlemen, I want you to know I'm not going to let Vietnam go like shit.
Fucked us in Laos, and now he is going to fuck us in goddamn Vietnam.
Hello, Joe. Ever since Joe came back from Vietnam, he's cast a pall on everything.
As loud as we can that the Vietnam War should stop, and that the best way to stop it is for the United States to simply pack up and get out of Vietnam.
Help a Vietnam vet walk again.
Ever since Joe came home from Vietnam, he's cast a pall on everything.
For him, Vietnam and the Beatles never happened.
Gail, there isn't a soldier in Vietnam who isn't stoned out of his brain all the time.
Dr. Spock loves us. During the Vietnam War, Dr.
During Vietnam, that ratio fell to 3-1. Our pilots become dependent upon...
Well, I know his father served with you in Vietnam. But do we really need him around?
Half a click. What are you in Vietnam?
And from this meeting came affirmations that the United States would continue its policy of aiding the new government of Vietnam.
Have you been here?
No, Vietnam. Cambodia.
He's over in Vietnam right now.
And he set out to withdraw from Vietnam.
I feel concerned about paragraph 6, which gives authority to control general elections in Vietnam.
Barnes has confessed to abusing his power to keep some of the richest and most privileged sons of Texas from getting their asses blown off in Vietnam.
If you want to perform for the brothers in Vietnam, you gotta give them so.
I hear him telling them Northern boys first to go over there in Vietnam.
Good waltz around Vietnam, man.
How many names are listed on the Vietnam War Memorial?
You wouldn't go to Vietnam.
Oh, I'd love to help you, man, but I ain't seen nothing since I stepped on that landmine in Viet Cong.
He said, I don't see how President Johnson can send troops to Vietnam and can't send troops to Selma, Alabama.
Oh, and Amir told me you're going to go to Vietnam, and I'm not going with you?
Hippies protesting the Vietnam War, and now what now?
Oh, you're right. I can go to Vietnam and protect the country, but I can't protect my own family and my own neighborhood. Man, this is...
I flew 49 combat missions in Vietnam.
I was in the guns. He was a Marine, Vietnam.
I remember Vietnam like it was yesterday.
I served with your son in Vietnam.
Yeah, lost my eyes in the Vietnam.
Sorry, I didn't.
I'm trusting you regarded La Parisienne as your home away from home all the while you're here in Vietnam.
My squad in Vietnam, we lost 8 of 18 aircraft. 10 men.
In January 1971, President Nixon asks me to intervene in Vietnam.
In that document lay the Vietnam War.
I'm part of that corporate establishment that, let me guess, you think is the cause of all the evil in the world, from Vietnam to diaper rash.
Fire in the middle of Vietnam, you rotten little...
I mean, Vietnam, Afghanistan.
Going to Vietnam.
In Vietnam?
Yes.
In heavy fighting in Vietnam today, 7 more American soldiers died and 23 were wounded.
I'm coming to Vietnam.
I'm 1,000% sure that the homeless Vietnam vet has a better one.
I never would have given you this information if we hadn't served together in Vietnam.
I regret any role I played in all that foolishness that happened back in Vietnam.
No, it's 7,000 pages detailing how the White House has been lying about the Vietnam War for 30 years. Now these are Vietnam jungle boots.
Of course, in the 60s, there was always a Vietnam demonstration.
Oh, gosh, his coverage of Vietnam is just absolutely marvelous.
Me.
You know, Bush's trainer in the 147 said he wanted to go to Vietnam.
Look, Larry, have you ever heard of Vietnam? Lyndon Johnson signs National Security Memo 273, which essentially reverses Kennedy's new withdrawal policy and gives a green light to covert action against North Vietnam.
Lying about Vietnam.
Mossadegh in Iran. We were in Vietnam in 50.
My brother lost a goddamn arm fighting you fuckers in Vietnam.
My entire panty line is made in Vietnam.
My uncle and my father served in Vietnam, so I'm proud to serve my country here.
Who served in Vietnam for what they believed was right are angry.
Make no mistake, gentlemen. We're in the fight of our lives against maybe the greatest battalion commander in the Vietnam War. I shit you not.
My country, right or wrong, with Vietnam going on, it's just fucking crazy.
No, I brought most of that stuff back with me from Vietnam.
Miller appears to be a decent guy. He's Vietnam.
People go to Vietnam on fucking vacation.
Some people attribute his eccentric behavior to post-traumatic stress syndrome from his service as a pilot in Vietnam.
President Kennedy orders a full examination by the Defense Department of a possible commitment of U.S. forces to Vietnam.
President Johnson is making a tragic error in Vietnam.
Singers and dancers wanted to perform for the American troops in Vietnam.
So, I guess that's why I went to Vietnam.
Soldiers have access to the drugs at many rest and relaxation spots in Bangkok, Saigon, and other areas throughout Vietnam and Thailand.
Saying if we didn't go into Cuba, which is so close, why should we go into Vietnam, which is so far away?
Sorry, you got any advice on how to stay alive in Vietnam?
Playing for us in Vietnam.
Second guy died in Vietnam.
Okay, Vietnam, I'm here!
1, did Bush go into the Guard to avoid going to Vietnam?
These are the ones who drive the cabs, who nurse in the hospitals, who see their kids go to Vietnam.
Okay, let's, just for fun, let's say that you do go to Vietnam.
Shouldn't you be in Vietnam?
They say you exercise the ghost of Vietnam with a clear moral imperative.
Vietnam?
Vietnam?
Vietnam and Cambodia.
BR came from his tour in Vietnam. The people.
Did South Vietnam as a lost cause.
So you were in Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
To go that far in Vietnam, that'll take a week.
I mean, Vietnam sounds like a better plan.
Okay.
Vietnam started for real. There was an era of
The President meeting with Henry Cabot Lodge, our ambassador to Vietnam, and members of his cabinet.
They say to me, if I come to Vietnam for 2 years...
Spotted it in a small village in Vietnam last month. Thought of you.
Thailand! Vietnam, you...
The military's doing search and destroy missions, just like in Vietnam.
3 tours in Vietnam, Panama, Grenada, Desert Storm, 3 Purple Hearts, 2 Silver Stars, and the Congressional Medal of...
To be able to choose who was going to go to Vietnam and who was not going to go to Vietnam.
Vietnam did this to me, but I'm not bitter. Thank you.
The major subject was Vietnam, a crisis that does not pause for bereavement.
So there's a Disneyland in Vietnam.
And we will never go to war in Vietnam.
That's our advisors in Vietnam. That's Vietnam music, man. Can't we get our own fucking music?
There are boys your age in Vietnam giving their lives right now in the fight against communism, and all you have to do is play a game of chess.
There are soldiers in the Vietnam War right now.
To sacrifice life in the name of liberty in Vietnam.
These guys are well trained, they are well paid, and right now, they're waging the largest urban assault since Vietnam.
The drug problem in Vietnam is more than marijuana. At this point, it is estimated that 1/3 of American troops are experimenting with...
The problem in Vietnam is terrain. Jungles, mountains, rivers.
Rivers of Vietnam, then the Pentagon.
The divisions, whether it's between blacks and whites, between the poor and the more affluent, or between age groups or on the war in Vietnam, that we can start to work.
There's a guy who sits outside my Starbucks with a cardboard sign that says Vietnam vet.
Vietnam?
Yes. We built the school, the labs, this whole place. Then, just after the first semester, the war in Vietnam got worse.
Welcome to North Vietnam.
We're very encouraged by what we're seeing in Vietnam.
We're going to be doing shows for the soldiers in Vietnam.
Well, lives in Vietnam.
Vietnam!
Dude, I'm sorry. While Senator Kerry has been targeted for what he did in combat in Vietnam, President Bush has been criticized for avoiding Vietnam.
Well, he'd already slaughtered 6 of them by the time he got to Phoenix, where some kind of convention was about to be held on the rights and wrongs of the Vietnam War.
Vietnam? There's a war in Vietnam?
Vietnam, this, I'm telling you, they're around.
Vietnam?
Yeah.
Fuck, does anything have to do with Vietnam?
I'm
what
sorry.
the fuck are you
Absolutely, it's about Vietnam.
Yeah, he was in Vietnam.
Well, I don't think there's any comparison between a pending invasion of Europe and a historical survey of American involvement in the Vietnam War.
Were you this cowardly in Vietnam, or is this a new thing?
We tried it in Vietnam. That went well.
Time. Waiting, is that a metaphor for Vietnam?
Vietnam.
You were there?
Why stick our nose in Vietnam?
We'll be flying sorties over North Vietnam to take out enemy supply lines, which means we have to cross over into Laos.
War with Vietnam. What?
Why should we fight in Vietnam?
Vietnam took my boy, and I didn't understand why we were there in the first place.
War with Vietnam. What? Wait, Vietnam.
Together, we did our tours in Vietnam together. Of course, we weren't officially at war with North Vietnam either, but...
Is that a no?
Okay, what are they doing in Vietnam?
They're at war.
They're bitten off more Vietnam than we could possibly chew. You occupy rap New Vietnam all over? Okay.
You met Bishop in Vietnam.
You the maggot whose father served in Vietnam?
You think they might be desperate to make it up to him right now? Make up for CBS running stories on Abu Ghraib and the president and Vietnam?
You know, when you sent our soldiers to Vietnam without the weapons they needed to win the war, you underestimated your enemy.
You know how many helicopters have been lost in Vietnam?
You're the one who refused to sign a petition against the Vietnam War.
You ever hear of a little place called Vietnam? Yeah, but not everyone who joins the army is sent there.
You know, if we lost here in Vietnam, I think it might have driven us crazy. You know?
Information you never even went to Vietnam.
What's that supposed to mean? About soldiers in Vietnam? Yes.